SBU drones struck the largest oil loading port of the Russian Federation in the Baltic Sea, Primorsk. Fires broke out in the port and at the pumping station, oil loading was suspended. SBU reported this. This night, drones of the Security Service of Ukraine hit the largest Russian oil loading port on the Baltic Sea, which is the final destination of the Baltic Pipeline System. Primorsk is a key hub for loading the Shadow Fleet, with the help of which the Russian Federation bypasses international sanctions and sells oil on foreign markets. About 60 million tons of oil pass through the port annually, which brings Russia about $15 billion, the source noted. It is reported that as a result of a successful attack by SBU drones on one of the ships in the port and at the pumping station, fires broke out, and oil loading has been suspended. Estimated daily losses to the Russian budget from the cessation of exports could amount to up to $41 million. The SBU forces also struck a number of Russian oil pumping stations, NPS 3, NPS Andriapol, NPS 7. As is known, they are key elements of the main pipeline system that ensures the supply of crude oil to the Ust-Luga port terminal. The SBU was the first to systematically introduce so-called drone sanctions against the Russian oil industry. They block the flow of petrodollars into the aggressor's budget. And since the Russian economy is based on oil, every such bang hits their ability to fight against our state. These sanctions will continue until a just peace comes to Ukraine, noted an informed source in the SBU. Let us recall that on the night of September 12, in the Leningrad region, unknown drones struck the Primorsk oil loading port, and one of the ships caught fire. SBU drones also successfully struck 3 oil pumping stations, which are part of a pipeline system funneling crude to the Ust-Luga port terminal in Leningrad Oblast. The statement comes after Russian officials and media reported a large-scale drone attack targeting Leningrad Oblast, Moscow, and other areas overnight on September 12. Russian air defenses intercepted 221 Ukrainian drones across the country overnight, the Russian Defense Ministry claimed the morning after the strike. Residents of Leningrad Oblast reportedly said the attack was one of the most massive strikes on the region since the start of the full-scale war in 2022.
Вон грибочек поднялся, хорошенький. Сейчас еще будет.
Air Defense Forces intercepted and destroyed 221 Ukrainian fixed-wing drones over the Russian regions overnight, including 9 over the Moscow region, the Russian Defense Ministry reported. Over the past night, air defense systems on duty intercepted and destroyed 221 Ukrainian fixed-wing unmanned aerial vehicles, 85 over Bryansk region, 42 over Smolensk region, 28 over Leningrad region, 18 over Kaluga region, 14 over Novgorod region, 9 each over Oryol region and the Moscow region, 7 over Belgorod region, 3 each over Rostov and Tver regions, and 1 each over Pskov, Tula and Kursk regions, the ministry stated. Leningrad Governor Alexander Drozdenko said a fire had broken out on a vessel in the port of Primorsk, a major facility on the Baltic Sea, but the blaze had been brought under control and there was no risk of an oil spill. An open fire on a vessel has been extinguished in the port of Primorsk. There is no threat of flooding or spillage of oil products, Regional Governor Alexander Drozdenko reported on Telegram. He added that a pumping station fire in Primorsk was also put out. Residents of the Leningrad region and St. Petersburg reported explosions, describing one of the most massive attacks on the oblast since the start of the full-scale war. The strikes disrupted air traffic at St. Petersburg's Pulkovo Airport, where 28 flights were delayed, 13 cancelled, and 11 diverted, according to RIA Novosti. Explosions were also reported in the Kursk, Bryansk, and Moscow regions. In the Odintsovo and Narofominsk districts near Moscow, residents described hearing multiple blasts overnight. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said 7 drones were shot down over the capital region. The attacks came after Poland, which borders Ukraine, accused Russia of launching a drone raid on its territory this week. Moscow has denied targeting the country and said there was no evidence the drones were Russian.
Нахуй ебала ракета только что. Да ну нахуй. Пизда, вон полетел, падает нахуй. Охуеть. Ебать.
Блять, только хотел снять видео. Где это пиздец происходит? Вон они, блять, засранцы летят. Ко мне. Не-не-не-не-не, сюда нельзя. Блять! Пизда Лукойлу!
Ну закройте хотя бы, там вдруг сейчас на Лукойл упадет.
Ну сейчас спим.
Да, на Лукойл прямо, смотри. Ебанешься. Это что? Ух, ебать! Это что за хуйня? Нихуя.
Вон грибочек поднялся, хорошенький. Сейчас еще будет. О.